Following years after Wounds of Eventide, a free DLC that provided a true ending to Blasphemous, the penitent one awakens in response to a resurgent miracle, a force that both cruelly blesses and condemns the lives of Cvstodia, the game's world. Nourished by the pain and suffering of the people, it manifests a heart in the sky that will give birth to a child that will make the miracle incarnate. Our mission is to ensure it does not happen. We'll travel the lands, face all manner of hardship to do so in a Metroidvania, offering gratifying challenge, visuals, and music. If you were a fan of the first game, the sequel was a refinement, and if you're new to the series, an ideal entry point. It's an experience that's not soon to be forgotten. The world may be the same, but the lands have changed. The developers have voiced that they wanted to adhere closer to a Metroidvania in Blasphemous 2. While the first had character upgrades, they could be missed. Still, more critically, weren't even necessary to see the journey through. It didn't prevent the game from receiving acclaim, but was a fair criticism of its design. Developer The Game Kitchen sought to have it remedied in the follow-up. The idea is expressed early on as rather than being bound to a single weapon, you now have 3, each crucial in their abilities. You'll embark on your adventure with one of them, with the others, like movement-based upgrades, to be discovered. Blasphemous 2 is structured in such a way that they can't be missed, contributing to one of the bigger changes from the first: flow. One of the greater joys of a Metroidvania lies in the sense of discovery, how a single ability can reinvigorate exploration. You'll happen upon a barred path, a door sealed, only to find its key and abilities. You don't feel like you've merely gained entry, it feels like you've unlocked the world. That energy is more natural and recurring now. You won't want to put the game down. Ruego al Alba can rupture flesh walls. Sarmiento and Centella can strike mirrors for a teleport. And seals can be dissolved, or platforms form by striking bells with Veredicto. Among the coolest moments are when a situation demands rapid cycling of the 3. This extends to its fun combat, which retains its soul-inspired challenge. You'll likely develop a favorite, with mine being Ruego al Alba. It closely mirrors the sword of the first game, plus reminds me of the Blades of Chaos from God of War. Nothing beats parrying your way into a merciless descent, followed by Veredicto, or Heavy Hitter. It was the most effective to my playstyle. But with several skills to invest into, there will be one to suit your combative expression. That applies to prayers, or this game's version of magic. This game has much to seek out, ways of having curiosity rewarded, all while providing a smoother experience than Blasphemous 1. There are trade-offs, but I'll get into that soon. While the world can host some cruel and morbid imagery, it's captured beautifully. The pixel art is richly detailed, whether the environment is vibrant or tenebrous. Plot your course anywhere on the map, the opinion will stand. The strong religious theming never loses consistency in any aspect of its presentation. It's always cohesive, masterful. It animates like it too, with death sequences you'll want to catch again, even if some are recycled. The voice acting is also good, sounding natural to its setting.
Where are the repentant?
Being a product of Spain, I was curious how the experience would translate to its native tongue.
Grandiosas figuras de piedra de la familia se han humillado ante todos nosotros.
Sin duda, suena ejemplar. Le dio una diferente textura a la experiencia. Quizá por la falta de jugar juegos en el idioma, me sorprendió y se me hizo más fácil de ver la influencia católica. Me gustó tanto que lo dejé en español, aunque hubo palabras y expresiones que se me escaparon. No review of Blasphemous 2 would feel complete without mention of its music. It is incredible. Carlos Viola has written pieces that elevate an already splendid gaming experience to another level. They're haunting, driving, moving. It's material that, independent of gameplay, resonates. Of 2023, Blasphemous 2 has my vote for Best Soundtrack of the Year. The game executes so many things well that even after beating it at 13 hours, I still had many things I wanted to do. How could I not recommend the game? It may not offer a new game plus, but should it follow the example of the first in updates, it's a matter of time. On such resounding notes, what negatives are there? I can nitpick, but the ones I'll speak on aren't definite in shape. Details of the story can be hard to follow, and I harbor many questions. Part of that is due to how suffering, or general expressions I interpret as bad, are seen as a sort of penance, good. The thing is, it adds rather than detracts from the game for me. The air of uncertainty feels part of Blasphemous. and explanations online have only made the game, well, cooler. The difficulty from the first game has been reduced, losing some of its tension. The entry felt more technical, where it was easy to succumb to death from platforming or poor timing. Enemies were often situated just right, that you may have to stop to reflect on how to move forward. Being knocked back into a pit, or plummet onto spikes, you're restarting from an altar. Fervor, Blasphemous version of MP, was also slow to replenish, making each casting count. There is a strategic element in play that makes triumphing through its worlds rewarding. In the shift to the sequel, the environment is now less treacherous, falls lead to health loss, and Fervor gathers faster. Aside from your skill set, you can equip multiple perks through altar pieces that don't have a con like the first game's mea culpa hearts. Produce your map. Your destinations are clear. Blasphemous 2 streamlines its Metroidvania, and not at the expense of its identity. After beating it, I began a fresh playthrough of the first game to completion. One thought was constant. What entry do I prefer? I like the experience they both provide, the approaches they respectively take. Like the cutscenes that highlight key points, pixel art or cartoons, either works. The only facet of Blasphemous 2 that gives me pause are bosses. Most felt like pushovers, with 2 clearly harder than the rest. Bad for the game though, I was eager to see what was next. Blasphemous 2 draws from the strengths of the first, and refines its Metroidvania. It doesn't lose the essence of what made it so memorable, instead taking a new approach that makes for a smoother experience. Whether you're new to the series or returning, this is a game to check out. It's bound to be considered one of the genre's best of 2023. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and have a good one.